Maggie, you're on the stage.
Hello, I'm called Maggie and I go to Yerbury School.
And you cycle to school?
Yes.
That's great.
Sometimes.
That's brilliant. And how many people in your class cycle to school?
I don't. About 6, I think.
Out of how many in your form?
About 30.
Okay. Maggie, thank you very much indeed. Now let's go and ask someone else.
Ruben.
Ruben. And what school do you go to, Ruben?
The same as Maggie, Yerbury.
Okay. And you cycle to school?
Not that often.
Oh, right. Now, would you like to cycle every day?
Maybe.
And what's stopping you at the moment?
I get too tired.
Oh, really? Do you have to go up hills?
Yes.
Okay. So if we flatten all the roads out between your house and the school, then you'd be able to cycle every day?
So she did it hills.
Right. Okay.
We're going down.
That's great. Thank you very much indeed. Now
I'm called Marnie and I go to Yerbury. And I don't normally cycle to school.
What's stopping you?
Well, I normally take quite a long time to get ready, so I don't really have time. Yeah, so I don't really have time to get my bike out. But sometimes I walk because I'm quite close to the school.
Okay, so it's not worth you cycling because it's so close. Okay, that's great. Thank you.
My name is Bella and I go to Yerbury School.
Okay, are you cycling to school, Bella? Yeah.
I cycle to school about 2 days a week.
And what do you do the other 3 days?
I walk.
And would you like to cycle all 5 days? Okay.
It's quite a long way.
And what's about the parking at the school? Have you got safe parking at the school?
Yeah.
And how many people are cycling to school in your class?
Quite a lot, about 15, about half the class.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really great. And have you tried persuading other kids to cycle to school, or are they walking, or do they come in the car?
Most people walk because most people live quite close to the school.
That's great. Thank you very much indeed. Brilliant.
Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. And you're at Yerbury School?
Yeah.
And you cycle to school?
Quite often.
How many days a week?
Maybe twice or something.
And what happens on the other 3 days?
Sometimes I walk.
Okay. And are there children in your class that don't cycle at all to school?
Well, quite a lot don't cycle because quite a lot of my friends don't live really, really far away.
Ah, okay.
So they can get into their schools if they want to.
Oh, okay. So how do they get to school?
They sometimes, my friends drive or get the bus.
They drive already? How old are they? The mum and dads drive?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think that they should be cycling to school?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So what do we need to do to make it possible for them to cycle to school?
Do cycle lanes.
Cycle lanes?
More cycle lanes.
Okay.
On busy roads.
Right. And do you mean cycle lanes with just some green paint, or do you think we have to segregate the cyclists away from the motor cars?
Yeah.
Full segregation.
Yeah.
Okay. That's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed.
Seb.
Seb. Brilliant. As short as Sebastian.
Yeah.
Okay. Seb, do you cycle to school at the moment?
No.
Ah, interesting. And how far away from school are you?
Well, I live on St George's Avenue.
Ah, okay. So you could walk.
Yeah, but basically my dad, he leaves at work quite early in the morning, and he's like the only one who's got like a proper bike which is working. Right. And my au pair usually takes me to school, but she hasn't got a bike.
Right, okay, so your au pair needs to get a bike and then you'd be able to get to school.
Yeah.
Well, that's a possibility. That looks like that's workable. So, and does your dad take you to school sometimes?
Sometimes, but we don't really have like chains to attach them to the thing.
This is at which school is this?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, so it's not really safe to lock your bike up.
Well, we don't have a lock to lock the bike.
Oh, you don't have a lock?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Because my dad takes the only lock to work.
Ah, okay. Oh, well, that's really interesting. That's quite... So, sort out the lock problem and an extra bike for the person coming with you, and you could be able to cycle to school. Seb, thank you very much indeed. That's fantastic. Thanks very much. You're Seb's brother?
Yep.
So do you go to Yerbury School as well?
Yep.
Okay, so you're not cycling to school either?
Nope.
So what do you think the solution is?
Well, we need to get a bike for an au pair, for like my brother said.
Right.
And it's not, we live quite close, so
right.
And to lock it up and everything, it takes too long.
Yeah. That's brilliant. And have you enjoyed the cycle ride today?
Yeah.
Lovely. And were the hills okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you for the interview. Ruby?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Ruby. And what school do you go to?
Tufnell Park Primary.
And do you cycle to school?
Yes, every day.
Oh, fantastic. Even in the wet weather? And you're not put off by rain and snow? You are a very keen, committed cyclist.
About 22 people cycle in my class to school.
Out of how many?
30.
That's fantastic. That's really good. And are the other classes in your school the same?
Similar, at least.
Okay. And what do your teachers think about people cycling to school?
They think they're always trying to encourage more people to cycle.
Right. Well, that's really good. And what do we need to do to make it easier for you to get to school and for more kids to get to school?
The first way to do it is to make bikes a bit more cheaper.
Ah. So what, they need to be £100, or how much cheaper do they need to be?
Well, if they also came with locks as well.
Do you think they should come with lights? Some people say lights are really important. Okay. And what about helmets? You've got a helmet, so...
Good to see you, thanks guys.
I'm wondering whether a helmet should be necessary as well.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, thank you very much indeed. That's lovely. And thank you for taking part in this interview.
Hannah.
Hannah. Right. And what school do you go to, Hannah?
Tufnell Park.
Tufnell Park. So what school? Are you in the first year at Tufnell Park?
Yeah.
Oh, right. And are you cycling to school?
Not quite.
Would you like to cycle to school?
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, Hannah, thank you very much indeed. And that's it then for us. What's your name?
Daniel Lincoln.
And you're David's son?
Yes. You have to go. The safest way is to go up one of the steepest hills that there ever has been.
And which road is that?
That's on Huddleston Road.
Right. Okay.
And it's a bit dangerous coming down it as well.
Because cyclists go very fast.
Yes.
And you've got to have good brakes on your bike.
Yeah.
So do you think that this can be fixed? I mean, 50% of children in Denmark cycle to school. Do you think that's possible in Islington?
Yeah.
No.
Really? Because it's hilly, or because we've just got too much work to do?
It's just that it's so dangerous.
Right. So, if we had segregated routes, would that help?
Yes.
So cyclists are kept away from the motor cars?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Daniel, thank you very much indeed. That's really great.